All right.
Okay, we are
Live?
after an hour and a
Kinda
bit.
live.
We are live with the Strength Shop episode 2, coming to you from Tyndall Barbell.
Yeah. It was a little tough round there getting going, but
We're learning.
we're learning. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, Gord's
Especially with
old.
all
I'm
this-
technologically illiterate. This is just how it works.
The problem is we got terrible memories. We can't remember what
honestly.
settings or what.
But we
What's an
took
input
a
driver?
picture.
I don't even know what an input
We
driver
did
is.
take a picture and we
did, and
still
that
screwed it up.
Did not help.
So I don't know. We're special today apparently.
Yep.
But if you weren't here last time, I'm Andrew Langlar, pro strongman, here with Gord Grimalfson,
Lightweight master champion.
2023.
Want to be strongman.
Yeah, so we're just going to get together whenever we can, hopefully weekly, talk about strongman, different things, strength sports, whatever heck we want.
Yeah.
So a little bit this week, Gordon, I know you had a couple training highlights.
We did. We went up to training grounds last week. You came.
Yeah, that was a good time, good trip.
I pulled 620 by 5 on the trap bar, but I think I was a little bit conservative.
I'd agree with that. I think you
Yeah.
had more in the tank,
I
but
think after I was like, I should have put more on.
to be fair, Devin's notes did say don't miss.
Yeah. But I don't think I was close to missing. I probably could have
No.
pulled that for 7 or 8.
More than likely. I find with the trap bar, once you get going,
Yeah.
it's not too bad. It's just breaking the ground with that first rep.
It just, your brain is like,
Yeah. I
and
also
then you're like, okay, no, I can do this. And then you can just pump it till you die.
I also found that trap bar, all the love in the world of training grounds gym.
Yeah.
We love Devin. We love the gym. That trap bar sucks.
It wasn't my favorite trap
No,
bar.
it was the way the handles were, and I think you have it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I know it's on my Instagram, but the handles, the way they were rigged up to get to the correct height, you had to basically jam your wrist into the other set of handles, which was very uncomfortable. Again, it is what it is. The trap bar competition should, in theory, be much more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely might have hindered you.
I think so.
But yeah, you had a lot in the tank. I know I pulled that 815 for 3, and if I hadn't had to adjust my strap, I think I could have kept going.
Yeah.
Which is kind of reinforced by the fact that today in trap bar, I pulled 865 from comp height.
Right. Which straps did you use? Figure eights or
I had the
just regulars?
Cerberus. So I tried the figure eights today. I really don't like them on that.
I was looking
I
at
found I was
figure eights.
sliding around too much.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just any little tilt in the bar, the figure eights made worse, whereas with the figure sixes, it was just locked in place. I could find the center, and then I was staying there.
Right.
I wasn't moving, so...
I'm gonna keep playing with the figure eights. I enjoy it as long as I can, and I feel like there's a lot of room to get the figure eights on with that bar. Devin's bar, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the figure eights on, so I just went with the regular straps there. But I was still having a hard time with balancing the bar.
Yeah,
I kind of
makes
wanted
sense.
to tip forward, wanted to tip back, but the kabuki bar is gonna be like that too because I think they say it's like 5 pounds out of balance.
Something like
Back to
that.
front,
The nice thing about that one, at least, is that the handles are just a grip.
Up and open.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
they
It's
got
not like
some
a
grip on them,
long
too.
bar. I think it's only about that long. It's an actual like a V grip that you'd use for
And
rows.
it's knurled. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be better to grab that.
It's rolling, but I don't think that'll be a problem.
At the end of the day, it's the same for everybody. You just got
Yeah.
to figure it out. So if we're having problems, other people are probably having problems. It's
Yeah.
not an event you see very often.
No.
And I was honestly a little surprised to see it.
Yeah, it
on
was
the
a little
thing.
bit of a shock. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't think anyone's really pulling over 900. I know Jeffers saw one guy pulling like 900 for 5 or something like that, but
Right.
I've talked to some of the other pros and they don't really know how that event's going to go for anybody.
It is different. I've seen guys that are better deadlifters than me struggling with like 675. Not struggling, but it was, and at the higher pick point too. I'm like, oh, you're not even at the right pick point, but on a straight bar, you're a better deadlifter than me.
But you're also a good squatter.
Yeah, exactly. So I
So
can incorporate the good squat.
That's what I find. I go a little bit wider and that kind of helps me break the ground a bit, but it'll be tough.
And if I can get my legs a little wider, it can bring in that sumo deadlift where I am better.
we won't talk about that. No cheating deadlifts on this podcast. But I'm excited for it. I think it's something that's trending well. Fatigued, so I think we'll be good to take a crack at 900. I was talking to Billy Hornaday there, one of the other Western pros who was on the podium at Nationals with me.
Right.
And he was saying too, he's like, if we want to make the finals, you got to take a crack at it.
Yeah.
So it's either you take a crack at it. If I don't make the finals, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because actually, if you don't make the finals, there's no record on Strongman Archive.
Right.
So you make the finals and get the glory, or no one remembers your name.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. So I can just send her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that'll be
it's
easy.
more the experience of a big international competition for you, especially being your like a younger lifter and less years of strongman. It's just
rookie
get
pro.
out there and try it.
Yeah, rookie pro. It'll give me a chance to get out there. So it'll be fun. Looking forward to it. But that event, I think, is moving pretty well for both of us, given that we've never really touched it before.
Yeah. I'm getting over a little sickness right now. I don't know if I'm getting over it. Hopefully I'm getting over it, but hopefully
better
it's
be,
not
because I'm
just
sitting
starting.
about a foot from you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, hopefully this week I can get some good numbers in.
Yeah.
Because last week was going really well, and I haven't lifted since Friday. I had to start early, so I couldn't lift. And then, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't lift at all. So that's usually my yoke day. So whatever. We'll
Yeah. Well, hopefully just jump right back on the
yoke
train.
went good last week. What I have 690 for
690. I think you got the full,
and I
almost
had
the
that
full
little
120.
calf tweak there that kind of it was disappointing, but it was moving well. So
It was moving good. I'm not too worried about that. A little bit of salt on game day, you'll be okay.
yeah,
But
get the game day rush.
I know we had very different weeks with our log.
Right.
You hit a pretty minty PR on your fives,
Yeah,
right?
245 for 5, so that was pretty.
So I got my 320 single last week, and then this week tried to ramp it up. It just wasn't moving. But granted, that said, I pulled 740 bare hand because I'm still prepping for Keystone, so I had the powerlifting meet. I pulled 740 bare hand on Saturday, sorry, and then went down with you guys to training grounds on Sunday, pulled the 815 by 3, then hit an all-time PR. I benched 475 with a comp pause on Monday.
Yeah. That was
Then tried to max out my log on Thursday. So it's like, I knew it was going to be a hit in the dark. The 300 moved, 320 was almost there. Just a little fatigued in the triceps. So whatever. I know it's going to be a weakness, but it is what it is.
Yeah, keep trying.
Yeah.
That's for sure. What else did we do this week? Sandbag. Oh, my sandbag was a good too. I got that 315 who's fell up, so that was huge for me. That was a mental win.
We had a lot of laughs about that one. You just disappeared behind it.
Yeah, it's just such a massive bag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of massive bags, we managed to get mine in at Iron Image, and the looks we were getting were pretty funny.
Silly as a
bringing that thing in. But I mean, I'm glad we have it over there now because we had it filled last weekend, and then my truck blew a fuel pump in your driveway. So my truck's been here all week with my sandbag that I need to be prepping. Yeah. So I got 30 days or something like that, I think, now to get that back going. So got my sandbag unloaded, hit the 865. So a nice little birthday treat for me.
Right.
So
nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday for me. Recording
happy
today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'll stop it there.
It's like there's an angel in here.
Right.
But yeah, so not too bad. I think training's going pretty good for both of us.
Yep.
And what we were kind of discussing here is, if you can see on the camera there, I've gashed my hand open, which feels lovely with the straps. And so
it's one of those things when you're in prep for a big show, you kind of forget sometimes. Like, you got to take care of yourself a little more than usual.
And so some context here as to why we're talking about this is I'd helped a friend with a washer dryer. I was a mover for 5 years, I believe, something like that, with Calculated Moving. They're a sponsor of mine now. Still a small plug. And so I thought, well, you know what? Plug. People will ask me to help them move things, and usually it's not a big deal. But now that this is a bigger part of my life, I have to start thinking about this differently, where moving a washer dryer into a basement used to not be a big deal, but now it was... I've now cut my hand. It's not deep. It's about like if a cat, it's like if a cat really got you bad. Yeah. So it stings and it's just in the way and it's a bad spot. Hindsight, should have worn gloves or should have just said no. Yeah. Which kind of leads to...
It's hard to say no sometimes, but especially for both of us because we're helpers and stuff like that, and we always, for whatever reason, say yes. And
recovering people pleasers, whatever you want to call it.
Recovering people pleasers or active people pleasers.
It kind of leads to that point. I want to talk about just the selfishness that kind of comes with strength sports at that higher level. Yeah. And how, I'm kind of bad at it. I know you're really bad at it. But yeah, at a certain point, it's like you're thinking, this is the right thing to do and I'm being a nice guy. Right. But also, we're all adults. Yep. And you have things you need to sometimes prioritize. And I have a hard time with that. And I'm really good at things where, hey, I'll get my sleep, I'll get my protein in, get my food in, make sure I get my training in. Right. But then when it comes to the keeping yourself healthy, sometimes it seems like what you need to do for your competition can often contradict with what your first thought is of, I need to do this to be a good friend and person.
Yeah. And both of you and I are guilty for giving more than we take.
Yeah. And that's one of those things
always, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, sure. It's always, and then people, they get used to you saying too much there, and then it just becomes a little bit more of a problem than it is a...
Well, and I found two things for me that really have helped me with setting the boundaries. I moved out to soccer.
Boundaries,
and I stopped drinking. Right. So I mean, thankfully now you've got these lovely non-alcoholic beverages you can have. But I mean, as soon as I moved out of town, well, hey, now if someone wants to say, oh, you want to come out to King's Head? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not driving in for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. It's like, and now I don't drink. I don't get invited to a lot of social activities anymore.
Right.
Which is great because I don't have to say no to them.
Right.
Right. But it's kind of like building that where
because
you
you're
don't
not
have
drinking,
to.
that means you're not fun.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
For whatever
obviously.
reason.
I'm not fun at all. Don't invite me anywhere.
Don't invite
I'm
me
not
anywhere.
fun.
I'm not fun.
You don't want me at your gathering.
Yeah. Unless I'm ludicrous drunk. I'm
Yeah.
not fun. I'm actually still pretty fun.
I've heard you're pretty fun. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't invite me anywhere, but
only invite Gord to karaoke.
karaoke. Yeah. I do have the voice of an angel.
It's true. Yes. You heard that earlier. So
birthday.
I'll do some covers. We are in between weeks.
Wait till I get that guitar figured out. I'm taking guitar lessons. So
yeah,
I told pretty much everybody there, you guys are going to hear laughing now, but when I'm in Nashville, they're playing. Ain't going to be no laughs then, boy.
No, a couple booze maybe. Tomatoes, but
no, I'm going to be good.
You'll be really good?
Really good.
I think everyone who goes to Nashville says that.
I'll be selling my body on the street and still be broke. Come on, $40. Come on.
I got a face palm from the wife, so.
Yeah, no, I got a face palm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I think
stick to
that
cranes.
a lot of people, when they're hobbyists, it's easy for them to kind of say they're all in on a sport. And I said there was a conversation had where, some of the younger lifters are saying, oh, like I'm really trying to gain weight or I'm trying to do these things. But then you talk to them and it's like, yeah, well, my job, I'm walking like 20,000 steps a day. Yeah. And I kind of go, okay, well, how much are you eating? They go, well, like this much. I'm like, okay, what are you gaining weight? They go, well, no, it's okay. Well, it's not enough. Yeah. Well, I can't eat anymore. It's like, okay.
You can.
But then the next day,
yeah.
But then the next day they're posting about, oh, like, this is my thing and I'm going to set this record and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, your statement to me about I need to gain the weight and now I can't, that's contradictory to me because now you're saying, oh, I really want to do this thing. Well, then find a job that makes you move less. If you really want, you really want, right? What's the priority?
Yeah, if it's a career, if it's just a job, it's two different things, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
it's one of those things, right? I mean, I know Garrett took a job that had less on-call work, and he said he's been getting a lot stronger, and that's just how he's feeling better. He's less stressed.
Yeah.
But it's like when it comes to stress management, well, you have to kind of know what you're able to take on and stuff, and that's where. Honestly, I mean, if you really want to get good at any strength sport, you got to be kind of selfish at a certain point.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm setting boundaries. I don't do this. I'm in bed at this time.
Yeah.
I don't deviate my schedule for people.
Right.
And you're probably going to hear from people less.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is kind of what you need.
Kind of what you need. I mean for me, very different aspects and points of our lives. I'm coming out of university and fresh out of high school and different sports things. So I have this big social circle where you've probably had, kind of through life, you dwindle down your friends to a smaller group of people. Yeah. So it probably impacts you a little less where the people in your life at this point understand if you say, no, I can't do that thing.
Right.
Because they already are on board.
Right.
Whereas I think for the younger athletes, it's the faster you can become a grumpy old guy, the better you're going to get at the strength sport in all seriousness.
Chance of actually getting better at something.
I mean, like everyone I've ever met who is really good at a strength sport, they tend to be homebodies.
Yeah.
This is what I tend to find.
We're homebodies too, but we have the gym at home. So
that's also helpful.
I don't have to leave the yard. So Saturday morning I can get up and I don't have a lot of reasons not to train on a weekend. Like you can only make up so many excuses not to travel the 150 feet to the gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, for me,
I'm tired. I don't know. That's what all I got.
Honestly. Well, I find for me, I like having a spot to go. I trained at home for a little bit during COVID and stuff, but I do kind of like having that separate because it feels like work.
Yeah.
It's like a home office. I would struggle with a home office because I have trouble differentiating the work time from relaxation time.
Right.
The same thing with the gym where it's like, okay, I'm going to the gym. I'm here to train. That's that. I'm not distracted or switched off.
What does happen?
A little different for you because obviously like you're in a separate building on your own property.
I'm fairly set up. I'm not farting around with a lot of stuff. Like this is probably one of the better home gyms around.
I would agree. I
think I got more strongman equipment than most of the gyms in Winnipeg. Probably.
I'd argue all
training grounds would have more, but
training grounds would have more.
But he's probably the only one around that doesn't have. I probably have more than most gyms for sure.
Probably. I think you might have more than we do at Iron.
Oh, for sure.
At our image,
Well, I've got all the bags.
Yeah, you've got all the bags and
I've
stuff.
Yeah,
maybe Training Grounds and Iron Age would be the only two that actually have an equivalent amount to you.
Yeah, I got a bag running from 50 pounds. My bags go from 50 pounds to 300 pounds in 25-pound increments. Now I got 5 Husafels we just added. I think I got 8 kegs in the back. I got a frame, farmers, yoke.
Sandbag throwing apparatus.
Not too many people have that. Yeah, full run of throwing sandbags. There's really no reason I shouldn't be decent at everything or better.
Yeah,
than I am.
That makes sense. So, I mean, do you think that if you were to not have the home gym, do you think you'd be as good as you are now?
I don't think so, to be honest. Unless I had a good gym to go to with all the stuff.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean? Like, we trained out a Good Life for years, and I did like going to a gym because it's purposeful. You have to leave the house by 4:30 to be at the gym, and then once you're at the gym, you're time constrained, so you can't just do it later, because I can't just go back to the gym later. So I had to get done what I had to get done within the time that I had. So I felt like that was good pressure during that time. So now, yeah, sometimes we can come out on a Saturday and stretch a hour and a half workout into 3 because I hang some pictures, or we sweep up the floor, or we put whatever, we start moving stuff there, and then it just gets a little bit derailed sometimes, and sometimes we got to just kind of rein it back in and
Well, that's also usually
yeah.
you're delaying the training session because probably you just don't.
Yeah.
But also too, like, you can do that at a gym too.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, like,
well, sometimes we come to Iron Image and we're there for 3 hours.
Well, exactly. And sometimes we won't train for the first hour and a half.
Yeah, we do a lot of jogging.
We joke, hey, we go down to training grounds. If we're running late of the agreed time, we go, it's okay. Everyone's still yapping. Like, no one's even warmed up yet.
Nobody started. Yeah.
And but those are special circumstances.
Yeah,
where
you can't train like that
it's a
every day.
social activity, but you can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's one thing where, I mean, what we were talking about. For those of you who aren't aware, the Western Canada Strongest Man events are turning out to be ridiculous. It's going to be an awesome show, but we've got a couple of very niche implements that we're lucky enough that Devon has in the province. So, I mean, I'm probably going to have to start going out to training grounds weekly or just beg Devon to let me take some of his stuff and keep it up here. But if that's the case, like, I can't afford to be gone for 6 hours one day of the week.
Yeah, because
like,
I'm
an adult. I got a
what's the drive to training grounds? Hour and a half.
About an hour and a half
So
for
that's
me.
3 hours of your day plus 3 hours of training by the time, especially once you go there and we get a big gang together, you can't get an hour and a half training session done.
No, I mean, I just don't see, I don't see
Devon
Devon that much, right? So it's like, it's nice to see the people, you hang out. I'm sure once his house is done, he's going to want everyone down for lunch and stuff. So it's like, you're going to have, you just can't be there all day. And that's where it's, again, the selfishness of like, okay, so I'm just going to put the headphones on. I mean, I get that at Iron Image where, because I do take clients out of there and people just do know who I am. Because I try to take part in the social media aspect. And, Tom likes it. We make, like, that one thing we did of the guys at the gym is at like 60,000 views all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So it's like, but he enjoys it. It's good publicity.
Tom's very
for the
good at
gym.
making those videos, fun videos and stuff like that.
So you see it, a little like 20-second clip, right?
Yeah.
We were there for an hour and a half.
Right.
Shooting all the shots and multiple takes. And you don't realize what goes into those videos. They're hilarious. If you don't follow Iron Image on Instagram,
Definitely
you're missing out. It is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But again, you can go and do those kinds of things and have your fun, but sometimes you just got to put the headphones on and lock in.
Yeah.
I mean, a good example today, I had a guy just start talking to me about stuff. He's like, oh, I've seen your lifts and this. And I'm like, yeah, this is nice. But meanwhile, I'm loading up to a heavy single on the trap bar.
I kind of can't talk.
He's like, is that 750? I'm like, yeah. You just watched me pull the last one. I think it's obvious what I'm doing here. I mean, you can't be rude. You don't want to just be like, hey, I'm training, man. Like, leave me alone.
But there is some aspect of it is like, can you not read the room?
Yeah, I'm going to subtly put my, and that's why, like, you sweat in them, but I like the over-ear headphones because people are going to leave you alone.
Earbuds are different because nobody's, I didn't realize you had earbuds.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got one in, right? Like, but if you got the giant over-ears on and you approach, I can kind of just give you a weird look. It's like, hey, man, like, not right now.
Give me a minute,
right? Yeah, so.
We could chat when I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those tricky things where I think some people do well with the home gym. Some people don't. Like, you're lucky where, again, yours is like off of your property. Like, it's not directly attached to your house. You're not distracted running back in.
Yeah. I'm not smashing weights on the floor and people are sleeping or.
Yeah, so you kind of just have, you can train, you can do your thing.
We can crank
as though you're at it's not affecting the rest of your home life.
Yeah, or your neighbors. I don't have neighbors, so I can crank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can crank the music and we can just go. You know what I mean? Sometimes at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, we got the door open, the music cranked, and we're just having fun.
Yeah, that's the other thing nice that you can't do at a commercial gym.
Yeah.
I mean, even calling a place like Iron Image or Training Grounds a commercial gym is a stretch because they're semi-private. I mean, Iron Image is huge now.
Yeah. What do they got? 1,000? They got over 1,000 members.
No, I think they're north of 1050 now.
Yeah, I think
it's really
over 1,000 members.
There's a lot of members. Yeah, so it's like
a big gym. Yeah.
It's not quite commercial, but it's not like, hey, we're here with our bros. Like there's going to be people you don't know. There's going to be Gen Pop clients with their trainers and stuff, and so you have to be a little more considerate of it. I think everyone there kind of knows me, so if I drop something, they're not like staring at me funny. It's like they understand what's going on there.
And it seems like a very open community too. Like there's people that you wouldn't think would normally talk to the gym bros, like when we're all there, but I don't know if we're more approachable. I don't feel like I'm very approachable, but but we do get people that were like the people that are like clearly have a little bit of self-esteem issues still coming in and asking and talking and stuff like that, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I find it interesting how many people are just interested in the strongman stuff.
Yeah.
Because like we've had people just come up and talk to us. We hosted that intro to strongman at their 7-year anniversary event.
Right.
And like there's been a lot of people who come out, and even there's a group of guys. This one guy, I don't know his name, and I feel so bad, but he looks like Mike O'Shea. Shelby knows who I'm talking about. He looks like Mike O'Shea.
So Mike O'Shea, if you're listening, tell Andrew your name.
Well, I know Mike.
We're a name tag. Yeah.
I know Mike O'Shea. He's my buddy's neighbor.
Yeah,
but this guy is not Mike O'Shea. This is a different Mike.
I thought we weren't doing name dropping.
I know. Yeah.
We're name dropping.
We're name dropping. That's okay. But he just comes up. He's like, "Oh, how's training going?" I'm like, "I don't know who you are," but he wants to. He's so enthusiastic about strongman.
Yeah.
There's another guy, again, like, I really am bad for names. I should start figuring people's names out.
Well, it's easier for a group to learn one person's name than one person to learn a group's name.
Well, and that's one of those things where it's
like, you're trying to learn 100 people's names.
Yeah, and I want to know all their names, but I'm just like, well, Tom and I were making that video. This guy walks in, he goes, "Oh, hey, Andrew, how's the training going?" And I'm just like, "Oh, it's good, man." And I look at Tom, I'm just like, who was that? I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of people coming in here talking to me.
I'm sure you like it that way. Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
You just hide.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Like it is nice to have that aspect of recognition and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's weird how those random people at the gym can sometimes be more respectful of boundaries than your friends.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
Where you're thinking, oh yeah, like my buddy wants to yap my ear off for 20 minutes. I'm trying to get training.
Yeah.
And I will talk.
Yeah.
Like full disclosure, I'm a yapper there.
You don't seem like the type.
I know, surprising. Yeah.
Where'd Andrew go? I'm about to hit a PR. Can you at least come watch me?
Yeah. I was gone talking to somebody.
Yeah.
But it's nice when people will just kind of like acknowledge, oh, he's training. Like, hey, how's it going? Yep, good luck, buddy. And just kind of go back to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I like having the conversations, but it's that delicate balancing act now of like, people know who I am, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
And I have to navigate that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Especially when you're in the same gym all the time too, and it's just people are getting the courage to come talk, and then. But not even
just my gym.
One. Yeah.
Like one of my clients trains out of Altea, and I was there, and this guy just comes up, starts talking. He's like, "Hey, you're that Andrew guy, right?" I'm like, well, I'm across the city 45 minutes. Who are you? Like, I don't know this guy.
Well, it's going to be even worse once the podcast starts to really go viral.
People know. You'll be recognized. You'll have people just knocking on the side of your crane.
It's going to be bad. Yeah. It'll be people driving in the yard like, oh, is this where the podcast
is? Is this Tyndall Barbell?
Yeah.
I knew this was the place. Yeah. That's going to be
a tough one to navigate, but
I'll bail you out.
I think we can get through it.
We'll figure it out. When it explodes with worldwide fame and popularity.
Yes. I'm going to make $50 a month at this soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That big crisp 50. Well, the goal will be to make $50 a week before you hit 50.
Yeah.
That'll be the big one.
So we got 6 years.
Yes, exactly. We'll figure it out.
Heck yeah.
6 years?
Yeah.
3, 4. Oh, okay.
Whatever. Fuck you. Oh, I wasn't swearing. I promised not to swear. I think I only swore once last podcast.
You did pretty good. Sorry, Grandma.
Right? Sorry, Grandma. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
My mom didn't even listen. So.
Oh.
If she doesn't start listening, I'm gonna unleash the beast.
Yeah.
Did your mom listen?
My mom did listen.
Did she?
Yeah, she was quite impressed. She thought we did a good job.
Respect for you, I'll try to keep it under control.
There we go. Yes. Keep it PG.
We'll keep it
we
PG.
Value our listeners.
No call-outs, no swearing. Oh, so many rules to this podcast.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll survive.
You can't tell. Gord's got a very nervous foot tick under the table, just desperately wanting to.
I'm a fidgeter. Yeah. I'm just like, I want to touch things. We got candies here. We got nerds. We got Training Grounds cup.
Yep. Just plugging all the things.
Plugging the training grounds. We got the Zone Smelling Salts flag in the background. I don't know if that's theirs, but they're a future sponsor of the show. They don't know it. They don't know it yet, but they're
Liam, we'll talk at Westerns. Don't worry. Yeah. He doesn't listen.
We're gonna do one show of we're gonna do the smelling salt thing, where they tried all the different ones there and see which ones.
I'd be down for that. We have quite a few. So.
Well, we got to get the sponsor.
Actually,
a brand new run.
Speaking of talking to people, quick thing, Mr. Jeffers corrected us.
Yep.
CASA did have Trump weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the old CASA shows did have Trump weights, and they did have lightweight and masters divisions.
Right.
We were wrong on that.
Okay, yeah.
While I'm correcting
it's because
myself,
neither one of us was.
We weren't around.
Then,
yeah.
So how do we know?
I will also correct myself. I did not win the yoke at MSM. I won the stones, so I misspoke.
It was right tight on the yoke, though, wasn't it?
It was very. I think there was Tyler, Dan, and I all finished within 0.3 seconds
of
each
each
other.
Point something.
It was. Yeah. I remember too because I saw them go and I thought, okay, well, I'm either first or third.
Yeah.
And somehow,
because they were photo finish.
They were. Yeah, it was so tight and. Who knows at that point? But yeah, so I did misspeak. I did not win that event. My bad.
Corrections are fine.
Yes, we admit when we are wrong.
Yeah.
Who knew? So
yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we got to talk about? What are your thoughts on if people talk about it posting their lifts and stuff like that online, and then getting worried about what other people are lifting? I saw so and so lifting this or so and so lifting that. What are your thoughts on that?
I've never understood it.
I don't understand it
because to me, honestly, everyone post your lifts.
I like love seeing people post their lifts.
And frankly, there's a lot of you out there in Manitoba Strongman. Post more of your lifts.
Yeah,
I want to see what you're doing.
It's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I want to see what you guys are doing. I shouldn't hear 5 weeks later through a grapevine conversation that Martin pulled a PR or Brian hit a big squat, and I shouldn't find out at the end of the season that Brian had a hernia.
Brian,
maybe mention that, Brian.
We want to see your pictures of your hernia. No, we don't. That's gross.
But no, post things, right? Talk about your training.
Why would you keep it a secret? I don't understand. I don't understand that mentality. My mentality going into a show is I know what I can lift. It doesn't matter if so and so can deadlift 50 pounds more than me. That I can't physically do it. I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
but. It's not a secret. It doesn't have to be a secret, or I don't know. I don't get it.
I think there's two things. One is some people just don't like social media.
That's fine.
Some people just really do not like being on social media whatsoever. And I know there's a lot of guys on the circuit who, JF does not run any of his own social media. Is my understanding. Carol runs it all. Yep. So there's a lot of guys who just don't like being on social media. They don't like the production of it. And to those guys, I just say, one, your training's easy content. Set up a tripod, take a video, post it, whatever. It's simple, easy, quick content. But the other thing too is if you want the sport to grow, you kind of have to do that.
You have to do your part.
Yeah, and it's a small thing, right? But I mean, just posting my training, I'm up to 5,060 odd followers.
Yep.
Well, that's not a lot, but at the end of the day, that's now 3,500 more people than knew about it last year.
Right. But that's 5,000 people that know how much you lift. Aren't you worried that they're going to come for you?
I don't care.
I don't care either.
At the end of the day, I can lift what I lift, right? And that's also a powerlifting thing. I think with strongman, it's he's doing this, but is he going to do it on game day? It's who cares?
Who cares?
With powerlifting, it's look.
You can only, if you have the perfect show, it doesn't matter what anybody lifted.
No.
You know your own perfect show.
Well, and that's where, Tyler was not happy with me after Westerns because I was expressing that I wasn't really super pumped about it.
Yeah.
But how I performed. And that's fine. I finished 8th or whatever in the West.
Right.
But I also knew I made mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm okay, take that, learn from it, remember that.
Yeah.
Right? Know what shoes you're going out in. Practice different techniques because like I said, I kind of just picked one of the techniques for the sandbag load and I cost myself a couple reps because the one I thought was the fastest was not going to be the fastest.
Right.
So you make mistakes and you have to kind of learn and adjust. And I think that at the end of the day, people talk about this being a team sport, and I consider you part of my team. I consider Jocelyn Shelby part of my team, but it's me.
Yeah.
When I'm out there,
it's an individual sport.
It's me.
Yeah.
You can cheer all you want. It doesn't make a difference. If I execute poorly on the log, it's not going up.
Yeah.
Cheer all you want. That thing's not moving.
Yeah.
I kind of find it at a powerlifting.
It's like Devin yelling at me to pick it up. Pick it up. Yeah. Well, I got nothing left, man.
Well, the classic, right? You pick up the deadlift at the powerlifting meet and the whole thing just goes, Yeah, right? Like it's
we know
every
we
time.
know.
It's like we know that's the only direction it's supposed to move. Like chill, right?
The standard hips cue.
Hips.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
those are your classic.
I forgot.
Ones.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot that I had to do that. It's like no, you knew. And so it's an individual sport. I mean, also too, like if you don't want to post your training, that's fine. Don't post your training. I want to see your training.
Yeah.
Like I want to encourage people. I want to see people doing good things.
Yeah.
Like some people send me their lifts. Like Martin will send me his PRs or
He sends it to you. He didn't send them to me. I would give him shit today.
Martin.
Yeah.
Come on.
Log PR and he doesn't even send it to me. I was very disappointed, Martin. Don't let it happen again.
You've made him sad, Martin. You don't want to do that.
That's okay. I already tore a strip off him.
Okay, good.
That wasn't really a strip. It was like
It's more a gentle.
smarten up.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. You can't tear a strip off Martin. He's too nice.
Yeah.
I think more people need to start thinking about not being influencers, but just put the content out there.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, look, so after nationals, I made the very smart, informed decision to max out my beltless deadlift because Ryder wasn't back with my belt yet.
Right.
So I went, I'm just going to go deadlift beltless PR. So I pulled the 745, whatever was ugly, and then James Cornelison was behind me with his arms out, like, yes, and he walked up behind like he was going to pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, that small clip to, I think it was just some obscure metal song that I liked, had like 1.6 million views.
Wow.
I'm like, why? Like, of all the things, I'm like, okay, it's not.
Out of all the entertaining things
well,
in
like,
the
it's
internet.
not my heaviest deadlift. It's not a cute kid, and it's not Mudang.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nothing matter, but for some reason, that just took off. And it's like, you don't know how many of those things are going to take off. And yeah, Squirt's having trouble.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hit it. You saw me hit it.
Well, you missed.
Yeah, I missed.
Yes.
Thanks.
So it's like, just post your stuff because you don't know what's going to go crazy.
Right.
And I mean, well, look, like great example, Tom Havland.
Yep.
Is the guy crazy strong? Absolutely. Does he just post things with absolutely zero editing or format whatsoever?
Yes.
Also, yes. But enough things went crazy where now people are like, okay, this guy's crazy strong.
Yep.
Well, there's a bunch of Tom Havlands in strongman. They just don't post their stuff.
Right.
So it's like, just put it out there.
Yeah.
It'll
Have
help
fun
grow
with
the
it.
sport. It will improve the outreach.
Yep.
And I think that we talk about growing the sport and we talk about it from, I gotta say this, I'll get in trouble. We talk about it a lot from how do we grow the sport from a federation perspective?
Yep.
And that's never the answer. And say the IPF.
Yep.
They're always, we want to be in the Olympics. Why? Why?
Why? Yeah.
There's no money. There's no money. There's a bunch of loopholes. There's drug scandals galore. Like, you don't want to be in the Olympics. There's no purpose for it.
Right.
Sorry, Tyson. Speed skating can stay in the Olympics, but powerlifting doesn't need to be there. But it's like, but the athletes are what make it grow, right?
Yeah.
The people, and I mean, the Eddie Thor being on Game of Thrones, like, these are the things that really brought strongman into the
For sure.
average people knew about it. Now you've got like strongman tries fit girl's diet for the day and all these dumb content things. But at the end of the day, is it dumb? Yes. Does it get
Is
people?
it reaching new people?
Well, like
I think that's
Eddie
the
Hall
only
and
thing that
Brian.
maybe could come from that is that it's reaching new people.
Well, and another thing, they've got now like 5 million subs or whatever.
Yep.
That's 5 million people who now know about strongman.
Yep.
And
And
if you
would
know
they
about
have
Eddie
watched
Hall,
it if it was just a stone load? If it was Eddie Hall loading a stone, we've
maybe
all
not.
seen it a million
But
times.
if you see Eddie Hall doing something stupid, you go, who is this guy? Well, then you find the 500 kilo deadlift, and then you find, World's Strongest Man, you find the controversy, then you find Thor, then you find Brian, and next thing you know, you're a fan.
Yep.
And there's different pathways, but I think that people as athletes need to do more to just bring awareness to the fact of like, hey, like, this is a sport, this is a thing.
It's a sport that anybody can do.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's adaptive.
That's the
weight
part, is that
classes,
you
age
don't have to
divisions.
be 6'6", 350 pounds
No.
to do it. Which was the way it was probably 10 years ago when we started at McDole's. When I went to McDole's,
I think that was the
most
most common perception of it.
Yeah,
I think
because I had no idea.
Yeah, apparently CASA had weight classes and divisions.
Yeah.
But no one really talked about it, or it wasn't the popular thing to do. And even now,
And
there's
I
some
don't know
people
if there
who are
was
like,
really
the
shows
open.
run in Manitoba. CASA shows.
I don't think there was.
Correct us if we're wrong.
Again, yes, please.
But,
we're not
but when we went to
historians.
McDole's, we go on a Saturday to go lift at McDole's, and there was the the Drake and the Dom and the Nate and those guys were monsters, and they're all pounding big logs. I wouldn't even touch those logs. Like I'm out of there until those guys leave.
Well, and I remember because even
powerlifting stuff in the corner. And
but I remember last year at the charity log lift, you were so intimidated by the big dog log because that's what those guys were lifting.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've seen those guys lift. Yeah,
but now you've put 30, 40 pounds over that one's weight over your head. It's like, oh, like it's nothing to be intimidated about. It's just you don't know any better.
Yeah, I didn't know any better.
Right. So you just go, oh, well, I'm not like those guys.
I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not. Yeah, there's no point in trying.
Yeah.
We would play with the yoke a little bit once everybody was gone or whatever. I think it was a heavy yoke. I think it was 300 pounds or something like that.
Is that one still in Manitoba? Is it still hanging around?
I don't know where that one is. I don't know if Tyler got that one or not.
I don't think Tyler has anything that's more than 300 pounds empty.
It was a heavy yoke. Wasn't it pretty heavy? I think it was heavy, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Devin's, the two from Training Grounds, he had made for Nationals,
those
right? Those are
This was just
heavy.
a regular square tube, but it was heavy. Yeah, because we used it
Maybe
for
Tyler
benching
does
and
have that one,
squatting.
because I think Tyler has a Nova one or something. It's an older one, but I think it's pretty heavy.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's got the aluminum log from McDole's. That was the one that I learned.
And
I think I have a video posted of like, I want to say 120 or something like that, putting up.
So less than Shelby.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, oh yeah, I'm strong, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
But I think that's a good point too. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where we're taking video. People get weirded out by taking video, but I take video so that I can look back and see where I was, where I'm at. And yeah, Drake was bugging me about the little cards, the number cards or whatever. And I'm like, but now I can look back at my training videos and see, I don't have to mental math the plates on the bar. I don't have to look at, and it's just nice. You know what I mean? It helps me.
It's convenient. And also too, it's like, it's a part of your performance. It's part of your sport.
Yep.
Like I think people get so weirded out about, I got to film my lift in a crowded gym. It's like, well, football players watch game tape.
Yeah.
Like, what's any different?
I want to see how my form is progressing. I want to see how my body reacts to the heavier weights, the light weights. There's so much more. I'll watch my videos that I make on my way to work 20 times. Yeah. Just pick it apart.
Even just from a coaching standpoint, like, you send your coach videos. I mean, I have my athletes send me videos. Some of them are better for it than others.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, send me the clips because, like, I might not watch all of them, but I'll watch the ones I need to watch, and then I'll at least know, okay, this is moving about here. I can see you at a weak point there. I might need to add a mobility drill for this weakness.
Yeah.
Like, you pick it apart, and that's where you get your feedback because, like, it's just not everyone's going to have your coach right beside you every day.
No, for sure. Yeah.
And a coach is just a minority.
Coach. It's not a personal trainer. You can't expect a coach to stand there for an hour and watch you. That's not what you're paying for. Coaching and personal training are different.
Yes, unless you're at let's say like Lucas and Alec, right? But Lucas is the third strongest man on earth.
Yeah, there's some serious money involved.
That's like, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I'm a professional athlete. Now I have my coach here to make technical changes and to maybe adjust my load, auto-regulate, that kind of stuff. But the majority of people don't have that. And video is the only way that you can convey to your coach, hey, here's how things moved. Take a look at the form, whatever, and then we can make corrections from it.
Yeah.
So long story short, video your lifts.
Yeah, for sure.
And that goes back to what we're talking about, like, be a little selfish.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's weird. Like, no, it's not. Do you want to get better or not?
Yeah.
Right? Like going back to,
how much better are you willing to get?
Yeah. Well, it's like, same thing, right? People saying, oh, like, I can't eat enough, or I'm afraid to film. But then the next day they're posting these edits of, like, the lion among the sheep and don't cross me, bro. Don't make me show you how nice I am.
Like,
what? Like, whatever. Okay, but it's like, you'll post that, but then you're like, well, I'm afraid to film my lifts. It's like, well, do you want to improve or not?
Yeah.
Do you want to get better? Because if you want to get better, you're going to need to film your lifts, and you're going to need to know what it looks like when you fail, when you have like I said, a really good lift.
Yeah.
I mean, I've started filming my log from the side because I was just kind of tracking bar speed. Someone pointed out, like, hey, your dip looks really inconsistent. Well, I filmed it from the side, and Larson pointed out that my best presses consistently were at 57 degrees.
Okay.
Knee bend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never would have thought of that. He's a numbers guy, nerd. But so it's like...
But an insane presser.
Right, an insane presser.
Yeah.
So he pointed that out. He's like, hey, like, I noticed my dip is more powerful when it's shorter. It looks like you're the same way.
Right.
Well, I overlaid my best presses from the past 3 weeks, and every single one of them was that exact same knee angle. wouldn't
Is there an
notice
app
that.
you're using to define knee angle or just an eyeball?
Just, well, basically, I took the one that he'd identified as like, hey, this was your best press there. I'm like, okay, cool. And I just took that screenshot and I just overlaid my other best presses and identical.
Right.
Just adjust the transparency on them, and it's all just identical knee angle. Where it's like, okay, this tells me that's where I need to be. It's that position. And now I can practice that. If I have a bad dip or if I have a bad press, I can probably look back at it and go, my knees got too far forward, my hips drifted in front, right? Something along those lines. So I think it's important.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's fun to look back and see where you've been.
Oh yeah, I have clips from my first powerlifting meet where I was struggling to bench 300.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just don't get that unless you have it, unless you track it.
Yeah.
Actually, Devin Norman in Storm Strength Nutrition there, he was posting from Portage in 2016, and I'm back spotting him there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Skinny boy.
Yeah, this thing was about 230 pounds there. I'm just like, well, that's about 100 pounds ago. And it's like, but again, you don't.
Because how old were you when we met you? That was 10 years ago, probably Portage.
Yeah, so 2016. 9 years.
Minus 10 years from your age
so
now.
It would have been 18, 19.
Yeah, somewhere
So,
in there.
it's been, now I'm creeping up on 30.
Just a boy. He's just a boy.
Just an infant. I was a sub-junior back in the
Sub-junior,
day.
With some records, some sub-junior records. Are they still
I had
standing?
all this, no, they're all gone. I think my provincial ones might still be there. There's a couple of them. I know there was one guy at Total Fort who broke one of my records and was very excited about it.
Did you fight him?
No, of course not. He's
You
a
should
kid.
fight him.
He's a minor.
So whatever. I'll fight a kid.
Okay, fair enough. You're old. You can say those things. Yeah, it's okay. It's discipline. It's discipline.
That's usually my
when you
first
do it,
reaction.
it's discipline. When I do it, it's aggravated assault.
Yeah, just beat the wheels off him.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, we beat kids on this show.
Absolutely. My mother, the kindergarten teacher, is just sitting there shaking her head.
Well,
right
it's
now.
not a kindergartner. Like, he'll be like a teenager.
Fair. He's basically an adult.
I think I'd have to draw the line around 8.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anakin
Fight an
Skywalker
8-year-old.
style.
Yeah. That's fine.
That's good. Yeah. Nothing's a whole lot going on right now. I mean, a lot of events being announced.
Yeah.
You had like Tolstoy.
Well, especially Tolstoy.
Tolstoy's announced.
Yeah. The Havlin medley.
It's pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be.
I think I sent it to you. Or I might have sent it to Garrett. He said, "What's a Havlin medley going to be?" I'm like, "I know what it's going to be."
You know exactly what it was, and I think because, obviously we talked about Tom Havlin briefly there. I just want to bring up the Tolstoy events actually because I can't remember them all.
No, I just looked for the first time today.
Yeah, so we have axle clean and press for reps.
That's fine. I like that. That's what I'm doing.
60-second time limit, clean every rep. Grip shirts allowed. Lucky.
Do you like grip shirts?
For axle, yes. I don't for log.
I actually really liked OSG not having grip shirts.
So, two things for me. For those of you who are unaware, JF doesn't allow grip shirts and doesn't allow figure 8 straps on the circuit. So I can't use them anyways for 95% of my shows.
Yeah.
The thing I find with logs and the grip shirts is that when I have the log, I get a little slide.
Yeah,
going.
the shirt slides?
It's not really coming up. Well, no, the log will slide on my shirt.
Okay.
It's stuck in the belt, right? So I'll actually get a little bit of slide to tuck. With the grip shirt, it kind of stops me here, and I have to hop it.
Right.
And I find that when I have to do that,
grip shirt then.
I don't like the grip shirt.
Right.
Because it chalk your belly.
Yeah.
I put my belt low and kind of push the gut up to create a shelf.
Yeah.
So like it's not going anywhere.
Right.
But with the grip shirt, I find that then it gets stuck and I have to hop it and kind of like hop.
It does stick like glue.
It sticks and I have to really kind of bounce around. And then I'm bouncing a log around on my chest. Well, that's no good. Yeah. For an axle, really like it because you kind of it just sits there.
Yeah.
Especially with like no one allows belt cleans. So if you can use the grip shirt to get away with it, that works.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I would prefer to do away with the grip shirts in general. Just because
I'd agree.
Training for OSG without a grip shirt, and we've trained now the Arnolds with no grip shirt yet. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to add it in.
I'm going to throw the grip shirt on for like the yoke, just because you're allowed to. Like, may as well. You'd be stupid. I don't say stupid, but it's like,
I really like the look of the show. Everybody wearing the same thing. OSG.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Or honestly, like, I will wear a grip shirt in events where it makes sense. Like I wore it for the Stones at SCC. I'll wear it for the Sandbag Medley. But I don't like how it looks like you're just a bunch of dudes covered in rubber.
Yeah.
It doesn't look professional to me.
I used to hate, it was like a bedazzled shirt.
Well, and you're only allowed to
Just
use
shiny.
2 kinds. And also just like some places just don't make grip shirts, right? I mean, if you're an SBD sponsored athlete, well, SBD doesn't make grip shirts.
Yeah.
So it's like, a soft belt they don't make, but also like,
yeah, unless you're ordering an A7 grip shirt out of the States, you can't get anything that's not a Cerberus.
But you can't even wear an A7 grip shirt. It has to be Cerberus or Strongman.
We have 3 A7 grip shirts, and I can't wear them. So I'm going to borrow Pat's grip shirt for the Arnolds, and we'll probably just have to buy her one there.
Yeah, I mean,
we haven't trained in a grip shirt yet, so I want to get comfortable without it, and then add it in as like a little extra.
Listen, I look at it like it's cheating, or it's like adding tacky to stones, right? Exactly, it's like it's not. You shouldn't be relying on it, but it'll reduce a little bit of fatigue. End of the day, I don't like them. It's just personal preference. There's some things where I get it, where like on a circus dumbbell, it maybe makes it like slightly safer.
Yeah.
Arguably, like where you don't have the risk of it slipping down your back.
Yeah, circus dumbbell makes a huge difference on.
So I get like the safety aspect maybe, but I just from a looks standpoint, I just give them all matching shirts. Everyone should have the same shirt, unless you don't get one. Like Ryder at National is wearing his Coke shirt on the live stream. Like, where's your shirt? He's like, they didn't give me one.
Yelling at Ryder,
But they didn't. Well, they didn't give him a shirt, and actually, they gave out the wrong shirt. So I had an Ontario 4XL because I cut the sleeves off. It didn't matter. They're like, I have the shirt. I'm like, okay, that works. So but there's a mix up with the numbers that were ordered for Ontario, Manitoba.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people just ended up cutting the sleeves off.
Right. They were all the same color shirt, or they were.
They're all the same color.
Okay, because when we had it here, every province had their own color.
Yeah, they had a different flag on the corner. That's all it was.
Oh, okay.
And then our flags look so similar, right? They were just handing the wrong shirts out. So
snip the sleeves off and let's go.
Exactly. Okay, so we got ascended weight elevated deadlift. That's fun. 60-second time limit. I like that.
I assume it'll be wagon wheels. Is that it says
wagon
wheels?
Yeah, wagon wheels. So
probably
the only thing it will axle setup.
Yeah.
The only thing is like that's going to take a long time.
It will. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take a long time.
You'll run max 2 lanes.
They should almost be doing it. I would probably do that powerlifting style.
I prefer powerlifting style
just to save the time versus ascending bar, because if everyone's going to take the jumps, it'll be like MSM where just everyone took every jump. And you had a couple of us, like I skipped a couple, Pat skipped, like the higher level dude's going to skip a couple.
Yeah.
But especially at this first show of the season, I think a lot of people are just going to stay in, and that's going to take like an hour and a half on its own.
I feel like powerlifting style is more, you can plan more, you can scheme more, because then you can know when you can shoot for, if the next guy's starting 5 or 10 pounds heavier, you might go for it. Instead of ascending bar, you're like, I don't know what they're taking, so I just take whatever. And then if you're in the mid pack, you're taking three attempts back to back to back. I don't like that.
I see both sides of it, because there's a strategy of like, hey, if I know I can gas the other guy out, I'll take every jump. So I get it, the strategy, but also just like from a time efficiency standpoint, when they want to, and they run the shows fast in Manitoba. Yeah. And they're trying to maintain that standard now with Devin retiring. Yeah. I think that's a weird choice. Yeah. Especially given now, so the following event, max weight sandbag throw over bar. Athletes will be allowed to attempt 3 weights, 3 attempts per weight. Right. So it's going to be another long one. Well, no, that one's going to be quick because they're doing powerlifting style. You have 3 weights. Yeah. So you get 9 lifts, basically. Yeah. You get 3 bags, and you're allowed to attempt each bag 3 times. Right. So I think that's pretty good. Yep. The Denny ring carry, and I quote, Tyler said, if we have to deal with it, so do they. And I totally agree. If the pros have to do the Denny's, so should the amateurs, because those things suck. Yeah. I don't mind because my grip is lagging, and I can hook grip it, so it doesn't bother me. I'll cheat. I don't care. I'm gonna split jerk the axle at Westerns too. I don't care. Oh, and it doesn't like talking about sumo, but you'll split jerk. Yeah, I will. Okay. Yeah, one of them's allowed in strongman. As long as we're clear, one of them's the rules change for whatever suits you. Yeah, well, one of them's allowed in strongman. Plain and simple. But yeah, Denny rings, that sucks. Sorry, Ams, you're not gonna have fun with that. It's terrible. Just suffer. If you want to try a set, I have a set at Iron Image, and Tyler has a set at Iron Age. But are they the same? No, Tyler's mimic mine are worse. Yeah. The Cerberus ones are actually much more comfortable. The Rogue ones are not. And yeah, I'm going to beef with Rogue here. They're not Denny rings. they're like roughly hand hammered circles that are sharp and pointy and jagged, and they hurt.
Sharp circles?
Yeah, they're not. The Cerberus ones feel more like a metal ring that's been left in the elements for 200 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's smooth, it's tarnished. There's some texture to it.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not biting into your fingers like the Rogue ones do.
Right.
Those ones are very, very painful. So and then you got the Haviland Medley, which again, you're carrying a single farmer's handle for 40 feet and a carrying load of a sandbag for 50 feet. You're allowed to carry both at the same time. So you'll be basically suit carrying, and you'll have one on the shoulder.
Yeah, 50 feet, so the sandbag will be farther back.
If you're
so
confused as to what this
sandbag.
is, just go check out Tom Haviland's Instagram. He's done it many times.
Yep.
Definitely something you should be training. But that'll be an interesting event. And it's going to screw a lot of people.
Some choices will be made there.
Yeah.
Whether you take two or you just run one.
It'll be interesting, especially knowing that Tolstoy's in a field.
Yeah.
I think the uneven ground might play
a
little bit of a factor there.
Yeah, it depends if it's wet or cold, or that's going to be... Because we've had two different Tolstoys from 2023, it was hot, like scalding hot.
Yeah.
And 2024, cold.
It was very cold.
Cold.
I enjoyed 2024, honestly, just because...
I did. I loved it, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a cool day. And I mean, I have a hard time staying cool on competition day. Like, Westerns ate me alive. MSM ate me alive for heat-wise.
Well, I don't think anybody really thrives in plus 40.
Some people claim they do.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine it.
But
it is what it is.
You wish you'd have that perfect 15-degree weather. 15 to 20 would be nice, but
Yeah.
You get what you get. It's strongman.
Exactly. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So. Okay, well, we're going to 51 minutes here. We should probably start wrapping up. But a couple things. One, thanks to everyone for the support.
Yeah, it seemed like we had good feedback.
Yeah, very positive. I know we rambled quite a bit more on this episode, probably all over the place, but
that's what we're gonna do.
We're getting our grooves. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. But a lot of good feedback. You know, our friends at Iron Age Radio reshared. You know, Denzel poking fun as he usually does. For those who don't know, he does the editing there, and Denzel runs all the social media, not Tyler. Manitoba weightlifting news.
That was nice.
That's Anna.
On there. Oh, Anna runs that?
Anna runs that.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure. I thought Thrones had something to do with it too, but that just seemed...
Technically by association.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were nice enough to share that. Appreciate that.
Yep.
But yeah, good feedback from everyone so far. You know, some gentle feedback about audio and content and corrections on the history, because we just don't know. We're learning.
Yeah. We're going to make mistakes. There's going to be more of them, so...
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
With it. We're not perfect. We don't pretend to be.
If you don't like it, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, that'll be it for today.
Yeah.
Till next time, guys.
Peace out, homies.